this is Simone from EPICA. Our new album, Omega, will be released on February 26th, and you are watching Loud TV. Yeah, it's a natural evolution of, that takes place within each album, where we reflect and try to see where we can improve. And it is also a little bit a mirror of what's going on in society and what's going on in our lives and where we are at that moment and what our musical preferences are. And we have 5 songwriters that each have a different style, but together it still sounds like Epica. But I think Omega now is a very mature album, and even though it is still very epic and orchestral, it has a little bit more transparency compared to the Holographic Principle, which was very full and very high energy. And this one has a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more laid back, but still has all the Epica elements: the choir, the grunts, my vocals, the orchestra, the guitar riffs, the progressions, and more team effort compared to the other albums, where this time we got together at an earlier stage for a couple of days to really intensely write on the songs. And in the past, in between the touring, we would have to do it all in our own home studio, sending each other ideas. And then, there was a different exchange of creativity compared to now. Yeah, we worked with Joost again. He's a great guy, and he's a very talented producer, but also a musician. I mean, he plays piano, and he's classically, or how do you say, he's definitely a trained musician, not just a producer. And we worked with him since we did a TV show many years ago. We know him for a longer time because he has always been active in bands. And he's a very talented, very ambitious, driven guy. He's a workaholic, he's a perfectionist, and he's super organized and just gets the best result out of us and makes us, keeps us focused. And we got everything, so everybody should find something they like in Epica. I mean, we have our true sound, but we are not afraid to experiment a little bit. And the sky is the limit, and so is it with our music. So the Oriental touches you said before, we had already in the beginning of Epica. Our very first name before we were called Epica was actually Sahara Dust, because of the Oriental influences that were in our music. And I myself enjoy that very much. I like that music style. And my son, who is 7, his favorite song is Code of Life as well. He calls it the Egyptian song, and he says, like, I want to hear it again, and the Egyptian song, and he loves it. And it's one of my personal favorites as well. Well, the original title that we wanted, or the album was called, was The Omega Point. And the Omega Point is basically the end point, where you have the Big Bang, and the Omega Point is where everything comes together into a, how do you say, like divine unification. And it is the end of the Kingdom of Heaven trilogy. And Kingdom of Heaven topics have always been, the clash between science and spirituality. And, that they have to work together in order to find the true meaning of life. And with the last Kingdom of Heaven, it is basically, everything dissolves, everything becomes clear, and everything in the universe is kind of faded to a final point of divine unification. And when the earth reaches the Omega Point, everything that exists will become one with divinity, and it is the end of the Kingdom of Heaven trilogy, but not the end of Epica. This is our 8th studio album, but we also included 8 on the cover artwork, because if you flip 8 to the side, it is the infinity symbol. And the Kingdom of Heaven song is placed as number 8 on the album as well. So it all has kind of symbolism in it. And the labyrinth represents basically the labyrinth that we all have inside each other, and that we can either find our way through the labyrinth within ourselves, or you can get stuck in it. So you can find your way out and basically find the Kingdom of Heaven within ourselves, or you can be trapped in the illusion. It is something everybody has inside themselves. I mean, the human mind is a mystery and is a labyrinth of its own. And I think it's a beautiful symbolism to use for the artwork, and also as a metaphor in our lyrics as well. But I do feel energies, and as you become older, you start to realize what is important in life, and you also, I think everybody reaches that point in their life where they are trying to find the meaning of life, or the meaning of their life, or the goal they have in their life, and what to do with your life. Well, we have this very short time on planet Earth, and I'm happy that I get to be a singer, travel the world, and really get the best out of out of life, in a way that of I don't know, if I wouldn't have joined EPICA, I don't know what I would have done with my life, or where it would have taken me. But I believe in fate, and I don't believe in coincidence, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, and that makes me very calm inside storms as well. I always believe that even if the situation is bad, that it happens for a reason, and that it's a life lesson that you need to learn. I love being a musician. I love being a mother, and I guess I am very lucky to have all those things.
Yeah.
And but it's not always easy trying to combine those things. That's more the struggle that I have, and the balance, the work-life balance that got out of hand. I mean, we were touring at the moment so much that it was becoming more like a burden than a pleasure, because I love being in a band. But when the balance is not there, and you start to miss your family and friends too much, that is not good. So we work on that. We try to make it so that it's workable for everybody. And there will always be times where it's going to be more tough. But if the balance is out of control for a longer time, that is not good. But that's why we also had our sabbatical, and that was a really good decision to do that. And the end result is now Omega, an album where we all worked on really hard, and we came to a great result thanks to a little break from touring and recharging our batteries, and
And now you are missing stage, right?
Yes, because after the sabbatical we were ready to go on stage, and then the pandemic came.